Did you say video on the Leica Q2? You're in the right place. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thomas Love here from beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia, and today we're gonna discuss the video capabilities of the Leica Q2. Because despite a couple of episodes that I shared already, and if you missed them, please find the link up here, you guys are keep asking me whether this is gonna be a good EDC, a good choice for videos, recording, 4K, so on and so forth. And so I decided to put together all the pluses and the few lacks that this camera has when it comes down to video recording. So let's start saying that if you're recording video for pleasure or for a profession, you might be playing different roles. You might be the director of your video, you might be the cameraman, maybe also the editor, or in this case as well as the main character, because if you're using it for vlogging or for YouTube, you also have to talk to it. And so there are a few good things to be told about this camera and also a few lacks that it has, because let's face it, technology, it's not so up to date. It's an old camera and it had this improvement with the latest software update, so find the link up here. So now you can record in 4:2 10-bit C4K video, but apart from that, well, technology is not so up to date. I'm using right now the face detection, but it's still based on contrast, so it's not a face recognition. The autofocusing that we're having in this camera, and so Sony, Canon, Nikon, they all do a better job tracking the face, but this is still usable provided that your main subject is standing in front of the camera. So as soon as the main character starts turning sideways like this, the camera might miss the focus and then it will take a long time to reacquire it. I'm not sure whether now I'm still in focus or not, and how can I check? I have to check on my phone. This is another lack that we have on the camera, because it doesn't have any HDMI port, and so I have to use the Leica's app as a monitor to check the main settings, whether I'm still in focus or not, when it's still recording or not, so on and so forth. It's not the better option out there, but it still does its job. And it's a shame, because a couple of weeks ago a company who produces monitors for cameras proposed to send over one of their products for me to test, and I had to decline because I don't have any HDMI port, and so I cannot connect to my camera. So forget about using a monitor, forget about external recording. So the bottleneck here would be the size of your SD card. In this case, I have a 128 gigs SD card, super fast, so I'm able to record 4K, C4K, 24, 25, 30 frames per second. Nonetheless, it's gonna be filled quite soon because we don't have log recording in this camera. So if you don't have log recording, the file is not going to be compressed. If you want it compressed, it's going to be an MP4, and then you cannot tweak the colors afterwards. So if you want to play with it in post, you will have to go with the .mov. So MOV files, MOV files are heavier, are very heavy. These are not compressed, 4:2 10-bit recording, and they're gonna be heavy. So the workflow is not the best out there. But if you have this camera already, then you might want to use it for video recording. Another limitation, and here the cameraman is talking, I'm really missing the audio connection to it. We don't have any jack, any port, so the audio needs to be recorded externally. Right now I'm using a Rode Wireless Go 2, and then I will have to sync the audio in post. So once again, the workflow is taking a hit. But if you know it, well, I'm lazy, I'm not using it that often or as often as I should. But apart from the technology being obsolete in this camera, what are the advantages of using a Leica Q2 for video recording? Well, the first one that I can think of is this beautiful Samilux lens. So it's an f1.7 max aperture. Right now I'm at f2.8. As you can see, I'm detached from the background. We have this bokeh effect in the video, not too much, but it really helps in having a good end result. And also the color scheme that comes with the Leica well, you might not need to do color grading in post. So here it's a good advantage for your workflow, because you don't have to do a color grading out of a log file. You can just use that, and maybe you want to tweak here and there the saturation or the contrast or the highlights, whatever it's gonna be that pleases you, but it's not a big deal. So you're gonna use that raw file exactly as it comes from the camera, and you might want to have a couple of fine-tunings in post, but no big job out there. The main job would be to sync the audio to the video, and that's it. And then we said that it is not so stable. So the OIS, which turns it very handy when it comes down to photography, in video doesn't really help. So you might want to position your camera on a tripod which is steady and sturdy, or anywhere you don't have to move it. And if it's the case, then you're gonna have beautiful videos. While if you have to put it on a gimbal and run after some Red Bull, skateboarding, so on and so forth, then I suggest you go on with another camera brand. But apart from the video on the go, this kind of recording is magnificent. I will go with that every day of my life and twice on Saturday and Sundays. Why this is not my go-to camera when I'm on the go. Like you guys know, I'm using a DJI Action 2, which has a super tiny sensor. Nonetheless, it's rock steady. So here we have a couple of examples of videos that I recorded using this camera. As you can see, the colors are impressive. It's an amazing end result, and I didn't have to do any color grading. The color scheme that comes from Leica and from this camera straight out of the camera will save you a lot of time. You will have to live with some compromises, of course. You win some and you lose some, but that is always the case. So am I looking to other brands, to other cameras for my video recording needs? Probably not, probably not. I might be transitioning to Sony for my USB needs, but this is a different story. So with that, I hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, please remember to like it, share it on social media, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the new videos to come, and I guess I will see you later. Thank you. Bye bye.